Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining in. As we can see guys, it's not just only the crypto market which is in an uptrend. Even if you look at indices like S&P 500 which is up 1.56%, Nasdaq 100 2.25%, Dow 13 is around 1.15%. Even the stocks like Apple is up around 2.19%, Amazon 2.11%. So you can see all are in an uptrend. So how long will this last? Because if you look at the price action of Bitcoin, we know in a bigger picture things are turning very bullish. I mean, this capitulation phase has already ended in our case, which lasted almost like around, let me check the duration. You can see this capitulation phase lasted almost like around 300 days. That means this is also one of the longest capitulation phase, which is clearly indicating us now the coming days, coming month, coming year for Bitcoin looks very bullish. And not just only this one here, even if we look at this halving scenario. Yes, I have already shared this information with you guys. Before we entered the Bitcoin halving, we were in this expansion phase. Once we entered through the Bitcoin halving, what happened after that, or what followed after that? A very nice impulsive movement. Here, a very similar scenario unfolded. Before we entered the second Bitcoin halving, we had this expansion phase. And once we enter the Bitcoin halving, after that, a new impulsive movement or markup phase. Here, before we enter the third Bitcoin halving, we followed this same exact pattern. Expansion phase. Once we enter the halving, we had this new markup phase. In our case, the fourth Bitcoin halving, we could be in this expansion phase. And once we enter to the fourth Bitcoin halving, this could be another bullish scenario, just like from this examples. Yes guys, the price of Bitcoin after entering the fourth Bitcoin halving could be also preparing itself for another impulsive movement here like this. So in a bigger picture, things are turning very bullish. Even according to this Stan Weinstein ideal buy for investor scenario, we have already broken the horizontal trend line. We have already broken the resistance from this 30-week moving average, which indicates the coming days for Bitcoin could be very bullish, because this is exactly what is shown here in this example. Price breaking the resistance from this horizontal trend line or finding support above this horizontal trend line. Resistance above this 30-week moving average usually indicates uptrend, and this is also what we are witnessing in our case. Another interesting scenario, even in a weekly time frame, you can see the price of Bitcoin, right, was clearly facing resistance from this horizontal trend line. But in our case, this weekly candle has already managed to pierce through it, which means the next area of confluence could be easily above 40,000. Not just only this horizontal trend line resistance has been broken, even the rising trend line resistance, this rising trend line in the past price action did act as a line of resistance. But in our case, not just only this horizontal trend line resistance, even the rising trend line resistance around 35,000 has been broken. So this is also another bullish scenario for Bitcoin. So we just want this weekly candle to find support above 35,000 range, because if we do that, then the coming days for Bitcoin looks even more bullish, which could bring us easily around 40,000 or above. So you can see guys, looking into different scenarios, looking into different time frame, or let's say in a bigger picture, things are looking very bullish for Bitcoin. But if you look at this in a daily time frame, not in a monthly, not in a weekly, but in a daily, things are being flashed in a bit different way. I mean, if you look at the price action of Bitcoin, if you look at this RSI line, what I'm trying to pinpoint here is that with each and every divergence, right, the bearish divergence which was flashed in RSI, what has happened after that? I mean, in January 2023, you can see the price of Bitcoin was clearly in an upswing, right? You can see higher highs, higher lows. But when we were following this ascending channel, when this RSI was flashing us a divergence, what happened after that? The price of Bitcoin after that had a leg down, right? A retracement liquidating the over leverage longs, and only after that started with this new impulsive movement. Again, very similar scenario unfolded. Price started following this ascending channel, but when we got flashed with another bearish divergence in RSI, what happened after that? Price lost the support from this ascending channel and started showing another continuation here to the downside, liquidating the over leverage longs. Same scenario unfolded again and again. price followed this ascending channel. When we lost the support around this lower trend line, what happened after that? We started with another continuation here to the downside. But before the continuation here to the downside, we also had a bearish divergence in RSI. Now, what I want you guys to do is to simply follow this price action. Yes, we are still above the upper trend line. This looks like a bullish continuation, but please be careful, guys. This is another bearish divergence. We have to be careful because maybe the price of Bitcoin in our case could show a final move here like this, and only after that start with a new impulsive movement. I mean, liquidating the over leverage longs, and only after that starting with an actual impulsiveness. And why this actually matters, let me show you this here. Now, before I dive further into this content, please guys, please do me a favor and destroy that like button. Let's try to reach at least 1000 likes in this video, because you know, video like this takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy. So if you want to support me further, if you want to motivate me further, please do leave a like and also share your opinion in the comment section down below. So according to this ascending broadening wedge, which is a bearish continuation pattern, the price of Bitcoin after losing the support started showing impulsiveness, but this rising trend line or the lower trend line from this ascending broadening wedge is still rejecting us. You can see very clearly, right? This lower trend line was acting as a line of support, but this exact trend line rejected us twice. So what does this mean? If the price of Bitcoin is going to show weakness after facing resistance around 38,000 range, we have to be careful, because after some range bound like this, there could be another shakeout, right? Final shakeout, which I just showed you with this example, before starting with an actual impulsiveness. And why price in the medium short term could show some shakeout liquidating the over leverage longs, and only after start with a new impulsive movement. Because if you look at the price structure here in a 4-hour time frame, we can see this rising trend line or the upper trend line from this ascending channel previously acted as a line of resistance, right? This exact trend line acted as a support when we had a retracement. Now, if this is going to be a weakness, price failing to break the previous high around 38,000 or 37,900 range, then this could be playing out as a double top type of formation with some retracement like this, and then another final shakeout before starting with another impulsive movement here like this. Because we know around that area, we not just only have a resistance from this ascending broadening wedge lower trend line, but even if you look at this leading indicator, one of the most important indicator, now you can all see why I was actually shouting on top of my lungs to be careful when we reach around this monthly arrow line. The price of Bitcoin had a very nice impulsive movement, but if we look at this carefully, where did the price got attracted? Exactly at this monthly arrow line. So this is definitely a leading indicator, because exactly after reaching around this monthly arrow line, the price of Bitcoin got rejected. Now you know why I take this CPI indicator so seriously. You can see massive shakeout. Now we are trying another attempt to break out of it. So even in the medium short term, if we do see another rally like this, but price failing to break out of this monthly arrow line, then please be careful. It could be playing out as a double top, and price after that could show a final move here to the downside around this CPI line, and only after that start with a new impulsive movement, because this is a VCPR. Price of Bitcoin is choosing a trend direction without touching any of these three trend line, and in more than 90% of cases, the price at the end of the month has always shown a retracement around this November or the CPI line, right? And only after that choosing a trend direction. So we have said, even if the price of Bitcoin is going to do that, I mean, show a weakness, show a retracement, fake out here to the downside, at the end we are still expecting another impulsive movement to follow after that. And why? Because you can see retracement around 33,000 or the CPI area means in a bigger picture, in a daily time frame, that could be just a temporary retracement like this before starting with another impulsive movement, because this will be looked as a temporary retracement, price coming back to test the previous temporary waistline, flipping that into support and start with an actual impulsiveness. So that's why, guys, even if the price in the medium short term is going to show some weakness, that doesn't mean the trend is going to be bearish. This could be just a temporary retracement before we start breaking it to the upside, because to those individuals who have been following me for a while, I have been very clear. Our end destination for now could be in between this 0.5-0.618 Fibonacci line, which is over 40,000, and only after that the price of Bitcoin could show weakness. So until then, any sort of a retracement will be looked as a temporary retracement. So these were some of the quick update that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed my work, then please, guys, do not hesitate to destroy that like button, and if you are watching this for the first time, then hit the subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.